This website, dxo.com, is primarily a utility program software which has been created by this company. But what is good about this website, it teaches you some of the fundamentals and shows you examples on how to color correct and things like that. Obviously the tool does it quite easily, but is it worth paying £135 for it? You can watch this video and find out whether it is useful. I think having looked at it long and hard, I think actually it might be. It's got quite a lot of features and functions. If you try and do this with Photoshop on a regular basis, then this is definitely going to save you time and money. And you can see some of the features that it does: optical corrections, geometrical corrections, raw conversion, exposition, ease of use, and it's got a good interface. It also color corrects and removes dust. So this quick video, which you will see now, will basically guide you through some of the functions. Different people might be at different levels of photography, but this is actually quite a good demonstration for new photographers or would-be professional photographers to learn from some of the tricks and how to overcome them. So if you know about these tricks, then you know how to get rid of the problems when it arises. So let's get started. For those who use Photoshop, then this program will probably save you some time. It allows you to import pictures in JPEG or RAW, and you can save the pictures in different formats. You can color correct. You've got really good quality enhancements, and you can personalize the settings in the software. So those who will get the most out of it, watch this video and you will see further what it can do. Okay, this is a page which is talking about the features of the DxO Optics Pro. This software allows you to do different things. One of the new up-and-coming thing is high dynamic range corrections, which is by using the high compression of the pictures, you can create new types of lighting effects. It's quite popular in creating realistic and artistic looking pictures. So this supports single shot HDRs, and it does the new RAW converter. This particular software also does optical correction. So if you've got a zoom lens or a wide angle lens which suffers from vignetting or some sort of lens distortion, this will help you to correct it. And if you're constantly using that lens, you don't have to worry about using it. You just bring it into the software and it will correct it for you. So that's quite a useful feature. This interface apparently is more faster and intuitive and greater efficient. So this is also working with Lightroom 3 and with Photoshop. Obviously I'm not trying to sell the program directly for the company at the moment, but there is a trial version that allows you to download it in order to test it. So it might be worth those professional photographers who use raw pictures to try it out. Okay, here's a good example of lens distortion, and you can see how the curves on the gate looks kind of bulgy, and in the next shot you'll see how that's completely corrected within the software. So let's go to the next slide. Sorry, I didn't seem to capture the other one, but we'll have a look at some of the other examples further on. Vignetting is that sort of edge where you see the side of the camera lens. This optical sometimes limitations of certain lenses is quite common on some of the cheaper lenses. So using this, basically you could probably get away with using some of the cheap lenses just to get the shot that you need and then correct it within the software. Color fringing, or chromatic aberrations as they call it, is where you got slight pattern edges on the edge of fine objects, like you can see on the branches there, the purple fringes. You can get rid of that with this program. Lens softness, as you zoom in closer, you find that it kind of looks soft, and to sharpen that up, obviously you can use the sharpen tool within Photoshop, but this has its own little tool to sharpen it up. That's the example of the sharpen on the top, and at the bottom you've got an example of volume anamorphosis. That's basically where it sort of distorts in the middle, and this program again has extra capabilities in order to fix. So volume anamorphosis, which you can see there, and when you go to the website you can see how it corrects it by placing the mouse over. This is quite a common problem, especially when you're doing architecture and keystoning and making sure that the horizons are straight. It's one of the things that judges on competition look out for. So if you can correct this before you submit the pictures online or at the competitions, then this tool will save you time and money. As you can see, that it has quite a good variety of different tools, and it covers from optical to geometrical conversions. It's even got dust removal and color correcting, which all of these options are available within Photoshop, but you need to know what you're doing in order to do it, and experience will teach you that, and time will teach you extra things, but this all-in-one tool does it quite well for you. You can see on this link, it's gone to a French website, but anamorphic volume is that distortion, and on the next lens, on the next slide, you can see how it's been corrected. Okay, in this picture you can see how the people look straighter and there's no sort of pincushioning effect in the middle, and the horizons are kind of properly leveled. So this is the result of what would happen once you've applied the filter or whatever you do in this software. And the perspective, horizon perspective, as I was saying, this is one of the most common things that judges look out for when they're looking at architecture or buildings, is whether the horizons are straight, and this has a tool to fix that. And in the next example you'll see how it's been color corrected. You can see the top doesn't sort of line in with the bottom. It doesn't look as straight as it. And now if you look at it, it looks like you've taken it straight on, and it is quite level. The level of the windows and the floor level seems to balance out. So you've done nothing extra in terms of going back to the location to correct this. It's all done now post-production. One of the most important features which I think is worth having is this RAW converter. So why do people shoot in RAW? Well, all the digital professionals tend to shoot in RAW because it allows you to get recorded all the details of the dynamic range of all the picture when you're taking the picture. So all the highlights, the lowlights, the dark bits are all recorded on there, and using software tools like Photoshop or even one of these, you can then bring out extra tones and bring out the warmth in different colors and things like that. JPEG is a flat renditioned version of the picture, so you have some tonal gradations that you can do with levels and things like that, but not as much as with the raw. And there's a lot of extra options within there, hidden within there, in terms of the contrast, the color, and the detail. So this software helps you to bring out that, and just for that, and there's quite a lot of raw converters out there on the market, but some of them are quite expensive. So if this converts it to a better quality and it does it quickly, then I think it's worth it. I know when I'm taking pictures, I sometimes think, oh, that looks a bit too dark, I wish I could brighten it up. And the good thing about this is you got up to 2 stops extra which you can go with this. So if you're taking a picture at night time and you wanted to boost up the levels of the darkness because you didn't have a good lens or a wide lens which allows you to shoot nighttime pictures a lot easier, this allows you to take it up to an extra 2 stops and still retaining the quality in terms of what the picture looks like. The next few slides show some comparisons of how you can see the noise being reduced on different programs, but apparently from their comparisons, it seems to be slightly better suited for the professionals, and for that alone and their comparisons with competitors, then it's worth studying it in detail if you want to see which is better. Yes, when I'm shooting pictures, I'd like to shoot in the night, but without a nice low f-stop lens, which tends to be expensive, it's difficult to get those shots. So having that extreme ISO allows you to boost up the grain and zoom into a picture in order to get the dynamic color range within that picture. So it allows extra options for the ISO with this. Another good thing is you can see here it's got outstanding image quality. Even when you've zoomed in, it tries to get rid of the artifacts and stuff like that which might be created by your picture. Photoshop does a very good job of color controls and stuff like that, and from the picture that they've shown here, it's quite easy and intuitive, and you can see the results in the preview window straight away, and you can adjust to your heart's delight if you're trying to match a particular theme or style. Easy to use controls is what I quite like about it, but you can see it's got the curves options in there to go in and alter all the levels on the raw settings, and it's got the RGB graphs in order to tell you where the different colors are in the picture, and it seems to be quite a thorough program. Right, from this example you can see how you can optimize the exposure, so even if you've got a dark exposure you can brighten it up and enhance it, so you can bring out the shadows and stuff like that. So looking at some of these examples will help you to learn that. In the previous shot you saw that the shadows were quite dark, and it's now been worked on and it's a lot more brighter, as you can see on this image. Single shot HDR is also available on this. HDR basically means high dynamic range, and there's a whole new genre of photography opened up as a result of this. There's even books out there. It basically brings out the highlights and shadows of your photos, and by adjusting it by a couple of stops, you can then create powerful new style pictures, and there's presets that